And we're back with a Brentocast on the road. Riding around with a wild card back here snoring. She's a little snotty from a cold, but I'm also fighting said cold. She's had it for a couple weeks since starting preschool, so we've been dealing with that. And unfortunately, it's just taken her all the colds she ever had before preschool. She'd have them, you barely even know she had a cold. This one's been hanging in there, and it's pretty rough. Lots of snot. That's the first time for her. But we're just dealing with it as we can. But anyway, I thought I would knock out this week's Brentocast by talking about what's been going on. So this week has been a fairly busy one. Middling busyness with massage this week. Not quite as much as the norm, but also not as slow as it had been lately. So let's see, went to class Monday night. Did some max, started testing our max on squat and bench press, and in my case that really made me very sore. Let's see, Tuesday I had something we took my mother to the Tasty Crab, and also we ended up getting food for Liam and taking Delilah and Summer and I guess Summer's boyfriend Patrick dinner. And then Wednesday, which was yesterday of course, I went to the recording studio in Faith and worked with David Harper, working up keys and organ and all that for 3 of the Viho Brothers songs. I also made a small kind of video doc of that, which I have mostly edited, and I'm hoping to share that with those guys because they couldn't be there in person. So that's been my week thus far. Also, Sunday I had a really nice rehearsal with Harrison. I may have mentioned previously that our drummer guy did not show up after all the rigmarole of, hey, can I wait till after my training? Can I wait a month and a half? And all this. And after confirming on Wednesday, he did not show up. He would not respond to my text or my phone call. And that's what you get when you try to get people off the internet. Even though I thought a connection to this guy because his sister-in-law's a customer at our store and he's only 5 minutes away, never could get him to respond. So obviously he decided he didn't want to do it. I mean, at 60 years old, you don't already have a band. There's probably a reason. I don't mean to be snarky, but there's probably a reason you don't have a group of people you're playing with, but who knows? I mean, I don't know the guy. Didn't get a chance to know him. So, but anyway, and an interesting turn of events, I posted some sort of little complaint. Hey, if I were Al DiMeola, and I tagged Al DiMeola, if I were Al DiMeola, I wouldn't have to worry about drummers not showing up. The implication there is, of course, Al DiMeola is a legendary guitar player who, plenty of content in Guitar World magazine about this guy, tutorials on his style. He's just an amazing, amazing artist on the guitar, and he doesn't need an accompaniment to be incredible and do shows and concerts and whatnot. But anyway, he responded back to my post. He said, believe it or not, at Brent Bowers, believe it or not, I've been known to make drummers run screaming to the hills or something to that nature, and good luck, pal. And I was like, wow. I confess that having a response from one of my guitar heroes has blown my mind a little bit. So anyway, it was cool. But interesting week thus far. But anyway, the rehearsal and the Christmas stuff went pretty good. And we worked on one song for Ansel, and I did a little demo, some demo recordings of our Christmas songs in that one song, but unfortunately I screwed it up, and I hadn't been working with that Zoom very often, and so I unplugged my guitar and forgot that, and so we ended up not having separate tracks for some of the things. And anyway, we did get a start on learning and putting together the Christmas show, and I hope to properly record those shows this Sunday at 3:30, presuming everybody can make it. And I'm hearing maybe that Tony might not be able to make it, which is unfortunate, but Tony's... I consider Tony, well, and Harrison too, for that matter, to be just a privilege to practice and or perform with. So, I try to make sure that I'm prepared and hope that they'll do the same. And when it comes to actually practicing in a room, these guys, even Harrison's 20 minutes away. I think Tony's probably an hour away. And, at the end of the day, we're playing lots of times for free or for tips or food or very, very little. So it's not like it's a professional engagement, even though we try to be as professional about it as possible. So I never take it personal when anyone says, I can't make it this Sunday, I got a family commitment, whatever. I know all about family commitments. But I do not like it when people say they're going to be there and don't show. That's where I start getting hard feelings, because I'm like, hey man, you wasted my time. I hurried up a family thing to get here on time for this rehearsal when you weren't going to come for another hour. Why did I do that? Because you were too inconsiderate to be honest about when you were going to be there, or live up to your word, however you want to look at it. But life's too short to be angry about things like that. So that does kind of miff me, but I'm not going to let it, kill my joy. Speaking of joy, I have really been enjoying digging out these Christmas songs. Oh, on a completely other side of the thing, I am going to be starting a TikTok, because I'm going to be doing some work with Ansel Brown, who has a bunch of followers apparently, some live stuff. He has already been on that threshold on TikTok where you can go live. So we're planning some live performances with Ansel, and pretty exciting stuff, because I like performing and I like it. I like filmmaking as well. So, TikTok's a bit different for me, but I think we can work into that. But anyway, I needed to have a TikTok account so he could share promotion with me and, promote Bowers Foreman or what have you. So I recently renamed my Gray Bro TikTok account to Brent Bowers Music, and I do not have any I don't have any actual content on there yet, but I will be having some soon, and I'm excited about that. I just don't really know much about filming on TikTok or editing a piece. Apparently it's edited videos, but in a very quick format, so it'll be interesting to kind of get into that and learn about it a bit more. So now we are coming up to the crest. On the top, we're cresting Mara Mountain, and we're driving around the circle drive at the overlook. It's a bit cloudy today, but still quite beautiful up here, and the weather is, of course, very, very nice. And I had planned to get out and sit and let Delilah run around, but she conked out on me, and I always try to give her at least 45 minutes, because she will not take a nap on her own every day if she'd have her druthers. It's just that after we have a little snack, we played at the park earlier and went and dropped off some stuff I had to ship for AlbemarleNutrition.com, and then we walked up to the Pine Street Park, which is really just a couple picnic tables and some wow, it's beautiful up here. What a view from the top of Mara Mountain. And by the way, nowadays the park stays open until 9 o'clock, so you can come up here and watch the sun go down, and I recommend that highly if you're in the area and you haven't done it, because it's real beautiful. Gonna do that with Delilah real soon. Actually, might do it tonight, depending on how she's feeling. I'm a little bit run down, but if I take medicine and just keep a drink in my hand, it's not so bad. It's just my throat primarily. And oddly enough, it's not my throat like it hurts to sing. It's just got a little bit of congestion. Nothing like what Delilah's dealing with. It's like the snottiest cold I have ever seen her have. But anyway, she's back here just snoring with snot, so to speak. I digress. Oh man, what a week. It's good to be alive. Fall, of course, being my favorite season, like a lot of people in North Carolina. The leaves are changing slowly this year. Like I'm on Mara Mountain, there's still plenty of green, but there's a lot of orange and yellow, and just a few leaves on the ground. But by the time they're all down, it'll be just like a fall wonderland up here of color. Lots of maples up here, so they're very colorful leaves, and just starting to see some of that, and very fun to come up here and check out. I wish I could kind of freeze the middle of fall and just hang on to that for about 2 months a year, but unfortunately it's not that way. Like the real exciting flaming colors only last for about a week before they're all down. So it's interesting to try to capture that, and I've never really successfully captured it on film. I was thinking about my drone, which I bought brand new, and from the very beginning it's had overheating issues on its it's gimbal. Like you start to use the gimbal and it'll say gimbal overheating and you haven't done anything. And I think I might have flown it once without taking all the stickers off of the actual camera itself. So I don't know if that caused it, but it seems like I've had that ever since. And I've never really had good service out of that particular drone camera. The drone itself works fine. It's just the camera gimbal seems to be jittery. And unfortunately, that's kept me from getting any really great footage. I got some good photos, but the footage always seems to have a little shake. And, you know, if you got to go that extra step to try to work out the, stabilize it and work out the jiggle, it just discourages you from using the drone. And now it's so heavily regulated. It's like if anybody sees you with it, you're likely to get hassled. So, I don't use it very often. Now, I do have the former drone, which was the big old DJI, I think, P4. I can't even remember the name of it. But it was a really stable model. It just has legs that don't fold up. You know, you just have to carry it in a big old case. But if push comes to shove, I could use that. But it's only 2K, which is probably fine for my videos online. But 4K is really kind of the standard now. But I was thinking about some stuff that I want to film, and I have a plan. We're going to be doing Christmas at Baden Inn this year, staying the night before Christmas and Christmas Day. And one of the things I thought I might like to try to do on Christmas Day after the presents and dinner and whatnot is to walk the power line that extends from the back of the golf course property that's with Baden Inn across the power line to the Falls Road that kind of goes down to the boat access on Mara Mountain. And because it's a clear shot, I mean, I can see how far it is. I can get on that road and just sort of estimate where the top of the hill is. And it's maybe like not a mile, three quarters of a mile maybe. But there's a place where there's a big dip in the road that they have like a little access road that kind of goes across the power line. And I'm just talking like a ATV access road. So it looks real wild and rough. There's a place where you can sort of see the steep hill behind it. And there's a little rise in the middle. And I thought, man, if I could set my drone up to where, you know, capture me and then go back down the hill and just kind of walk up, it would look like you were walking, cresting this huge mountain. Anyway, it's just a visual that I have in mind. And I want to try to do that when I'm staying at Baden Inn because, of course, if you're staying there, they don't say anything to you about walking on the trails. So I could just cruise out there. But, of course, I was thinking probably knowing Nancy. She'll be like, I'm so tired, I worked 2 hours. You know, she'll be too tired to mind Delilah for 2 hours to let me do that. So I may be bringing Delilah with me, and that would mean Delilah plus the backpack. We'll just have to see how she's feeling, how she's acting. And she's sometimes fairly independent. Other times it's like, Papa, carry me. I'm like, well, I can't carry you and the backpack, you know, so have to be careful about that. But this morning was nice. We walked from the post office up to the little park there, and there was a little yard display with a blow-up dragon, and she wanted to take a picture in front of that, so I shot a photograph and a video, of course, and it was fun. Enjoyed my time with her, and I really do try to be present for that and focus on it. I hate to see her with a cold. That really crushes me. She's going to be snoring all over this this episode of Brentocast, I guess. But yeah, man, fall and she's just growing up so fast. It's just, I keep talking about it, but like, you know, 3 years have went by like that, and now, you know, she's going into year 4, and then there'll be 5, and then who knows, she may not be like Papa's girl like she is now. So I want to really take advantage of the time when she sees me, and if I'm not there, she's like, where's Papa? I want Papa, you know. So I am not trying to take that for granted. They're what do you call it when you throw they're mulching trees right now. And a big old crew out here. Looks like there's a full complement of people working at the park office, which I don't get down to very often. I think I'll just drive through here and loop around, see what they got going on. Yeah, I haven't been in that park office probably in 10 years. I should go in there, just see what they got. No parking in circle, and there's a truck parked right in the circle. And they got a Mara Mountain Memories building down here that I wasn't even aware of. I'd totally forgotten that was down here. And it says Morrow Mountain Through the Ages. Apparently it's a museum. Hours are 10 to 5. Me and Delilah will be coming back and checking that out when she's awake. And it looks like it's open with the lights on. Doggone, I actually want to see that. Well, she'll be awake in half an hour. We might get back to it today. Who knows? I might stop and get me some tissue, though, because I tell you what, her little nose is running. Poor thing. She closes her mouth when she's snoring, and that means the snot is just bubbling up. Yeah, this is the snot episode. I think I'm going to call this one EP18, Not Trying to Be Snotty. You always look for a little hook. Morrow Mountain, I mean, it is not lost on me how fortunate we are to be so close to this, because it's a really incredible park. You don't have to pay to come in. I mean, parks at the beach, you got to pay. I mean, there's one we go to about every time we go down to North Myrtle, and it's not cheap either. It's like $8 an adult. I'm like, for real? What about all that tax money that takes to run one of these? Next time, though, I think we're going to go to the one that's further down, because I want to see the alligators, and apparently they have alligators there. We almost went to it this time, but what stopped us was we were on the way, and I said, you know what, Nancy, we had to wait for 40 minutes to get up in the line to pay our dues to get in. What's it going to be like at the other place? And we were driving home after, and she said, you're right, let's not do that. So right now, I am down here at the trail that's down below the pool area. There's a little picnic area out here, and Delilah and I, it's not as heavily frequented. We will sometimes come out here and walk, and it looks like they have red tape around the one picnic shelter, and I wonder what that's all about. I'm sure if I go out there I could read it, but anyway, they had all the bathrooms closed out here during COVID. That was bullshit. It's like, you're out in the middle of the forest. Why would you have the only bathroom? You think somebody's going to catch COVID in the bathroom? I don't think so. But yeah, there's a really great trail up here that I think it's called the Hadaway Mountain Trail. That's a challenging trail. You better have your knees in shape when you do that one. Even going up and down, it's so steep, but it's a great workout. It takes you about an hour and a half to do it. To me, anyway. I'm just really wanting to move into that hiking again and get Delilah super interested in it and get her a little backpack. And if I have my plan, if my stuff goes to plan, maybe next year, maybe this year, but soon it'll be like, that'll be one of our hobbies, going out, because she loves nature and animals. And I got an invite to a kind of a commercial horse barn today to bring Delilah out to. And so mid-November, after I get back from the beach, we are going to try to do that. And it's kind of a rain or shine, because it's like about an acre under a barn. The barn is huge, right? So worked on one of my clients today, and her husband runs that, and we were just talking about horses and our affinity for horses. And they apparently have a rather tame horse that we could kind of let Delilah get used to. But I might get some sugar cubes or something, and she'll love horses, interacting with horses. Basically anything covered in fur, she's like, I want to hug it. And I can relate. There's an Arabic expression that says, the breath of God is that which flows between a horse's ears. And I thought, man, horses are magic, and anybody with a soul knows that. I don't know if it's their big old eyes or just how they're so strong and, are willing to be ridden and used as work animals. And, it's just amazing, because if a horse didn't want to do something, you were not going to physically force it to do it, typically. I mean, the bit is just an inconvenience. They don't like it. Not that kind of, you're able to lead them with it, but like as far as making them, ultimately at the end of the day, it's their choice to comply. But I digress. We're going down to the bottom. It looks like we're wrapping up on the end of episode 18 here. Oh, there's the Dr. Francis Cron home site, which I usually will turn off and go up there, but I think today maybe I won't. Delilah really likes that one because there's lots of area to run around. Had an interesting conversation. I was out there last time with Delilah and this young African-American fellow. I mean, I guess he was similar in age to me. He comes up and starts talking, and he said something offhand about how, probably slaves built that. And I was like, I don't know if that's historically accurate. But it actually kind of started a good conversation, about the Civil War times and stuff. And he seemed like a really nice guy. I had a good talk with him, and I appreciated his point of view. Like I always try to. Wow, boy, is it gorgeous out here. We're down at the boat launch now, and there's a big area up here that's just completely open, and you can just kind of wheel around if there's nobody here. You're not supposed to park on this side. It's the lower boat launch onto the... it's actually the side of the original Petey River Ferry. And you can get a fantastic view right across the river, which doesn't even seem about like 2 football field lengths. So you can see the houses on the other side are really good, what few there are, because it's heavily restricted. We're kind of at the area where the restricted stuff starts, and there's just a few houses north of that. But beautiful, beautiful, beautiful out here. I'm going to just chill here for a second. I figure she'll be waking up any time now. But running a little bit long this week. So anyway, I guess the plan for the rest of the week would be probably take Delilah to dinner somewhere tonight. She'll stay with us tonight, so that means we got playtimes. Probably be watching a lot of episodes of Cuphead on Netflix because that's her jam right now. Got her a Schleiber. Schleiber makes these really anatomically accurate little plastic animals, and I got her a little set with a couple dogs and a little dog house and a little fence, and so we're going to play with that when we go back to the store. I know she's going to just completely dig that because I got her the cat one and she absolutely would not leave it. Like it had to go with her wherever she went. So she'll be probably taking that home tonight. And then we also got Play-Doh, but I'm going to use the green Play-Doh to set up a little bit of a little yard area and set that fence on. That's my plan anyway. I may take some video of that. Who knows? But yeah, so you can check out BrentBowers.com, the weekly vlog to see what happens after today. But this weekend, we have tickets to a concert at Baden Inn. A jazz trio is playing. And it's like a dinner and a concert sort of thing. And they do that once or twice a year. And we actually played at one that was sort of geared toward a benefit earlier in the year. That was a great experience. And I saw how they did it, and it made me go, next time I do this with somebody else, I'm going to just come and be a spectator and just enjoy it. But, yeah, as far as I can see, everything looks good, and we're on track to have a really good Christmas. We're supposed to go down to North Myrtle, just Nancy and I, for my birthday. And the big thing that we're going to try to do this time is go to that, like, the medieval times, like, dinner and a show kind of a thing. And the Pirates was so good. If the medieval times is half as good as that, and I think it will be interesting to me because I know they joust and fight with armor. I'm into it, man. It should be amazing. I'm going to get some great footage of it. So yeah, I'm just chuffed to be living the dream, man, living my best life. I'm trying to get back to working out, doing a little bit in that regard, trying to eat right, doing a little bit in that regard. Although when I feel sick like today, I tend to slip off the diet a bit, but that's just because it makes me feel, physically feel better to have a little more carbs. But typically leaving those carbs alone, not eating bread. Still eating pretty good, but, not eating bread. Trying to stay away from sugar in general. Like I said, been a little slacker, feeling bad. But, yeah, I don't feel really sick, so I'm thankful for that. It's just that I don't feel also inclined to go out and do extra physical stuff while I'm feeling this way. But, yeah, I'll be winding down to the end of that class. I was just thinking we might not even be able to make that final class because I think we'll be getting back from the beach on the same day. But, I don't know. All is well. Just picked up a tutorial and digital brush pack from jazzastudios.com because I'm really trying to get into digital painting, and I've got my big tablet now. Well, it's not really a tablet, it's like a screen you draw on, and I need to learn that technique. And still struggling to get my Oswolf product through DAZ 3D, but it is in full testing, and they've given me a first round of feedback, and there was quite a lot of it, and my contractor that I commissioned to do this work is making those fixes for me, so I hope I get that guy out. I don't think he's going to hit by Halloween, but I'm not stressing it. As long as I make my money back in the next year, I'm okay with it. But that's what's going on this weekend, and hopefully we'll have a nice rehearsal with Harrison. Oh, by the way, Saturday, they're doing some event back at Gold Hill and having wood-fired pizza. I think I'm going to run up there, get a wood-fired pizza, and just hang out and see how big that is at the Backstreet Mercantile, because the following weekend we will be playing. I need to make that invite, whatever, on Bowers Foreman today. And then also I think we'll be doing maybe November the 16th. I don't know, man. It's a lot of studio dates, a lot of performance dates, trying to make us have a really active end of the year. Since the electric band's not happening right now, I don't have to take away time from the acoustic stuff, and I can focus on getting that Christmas show ready. And I'm hoping to have some sort of little album come out of that too, so stay tuned for that. But anyway, that's going to be a wrap for episode 18 of Brentocast. We've ran long. Hopefully you don't mind, but that's the way things are shaking out this week. Have a good one. God bless. Brento out.